Welcome to the Book Angle, where we talk about books from different angles and sometimes go in circles. I'm Anna, and this is Sabrina. And today we are going to be talking about one-star book reviews. But first, I do want to address the fact that my hair is very bright and looks red on camera.
I made her very self-conscious, not on purpose. Not on purpose.
Yeah, I scared Sabrina in the spirit of Halloween. I scared Sabrina when I got on Zoom because she was not expecting my hair to look like this.
No, you said in my defense, I was given a couple of different inspo photos and I was expecting blonde, red, or no, I wasn't expecting red. I was expecting blonde, pink, and purple.
Yes.
And then I was like, oh my gosh, because I'm like, who's this redhead chick coming in this room with your money pink?
Yeah, so there is blonde, there's a lot more blonde, but the camera just can't handle the diversity of color and decided we're just gonna go red. There's like, you can sort of get a hint of purple. It looks so different in person, and I'm bummed that you can't tell on camera, but it does look good in person. I promise. Anyway, now that we've got my self-consciousness out of the way,
basically don't make massive changes around me because yeah.
okay.
Yeah, let's talk about other things that are scary now.
We are going to be talking about one-star reviews of books that we enjoy. So I sent Sabrina 5 books that I really like, and she sent me 5 books that she really likes. And then we each picked one-star reviews for each other to try to decipher what book goes with which review.
None of them do, because there's no way that if people were being objective that they would be a 1-star review, but that's okay. It's fine. They want to scare me for a reason. So the 5 books that I sent Anna are Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murder by Jessie Sutanto, I believe, which is perfect for Halloween because it's a murder mystery and a cute Chinese mom is just trying to solve it herself because she doesn't need the police, apparently. Then Little Thieves by Margaret Owen, which is a retelling of The Goose Girl and has the plot twists we love. And then Anxious People by Frederick Bachman, where a woman tries to rob a cashless bank. She doesn't know it's cashless and accidentally holds people hostage. It's so good. Thorn Hedge by our girl, Anna's girl especially, T. Kingfisher, because she's great. And also, Anna, tell us her news.
Oh, yeah. So T. Kingfisher won a Hugo Award for Best Science Fiction for her book Nettle and Bone, which I read on my birthday, not this year, but last year, and gave 5 stars.
See, there's no way our girl could have a 1-star review. No way. She's award winning. But, and then House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune, because I know no shame and I talk about it in all of my favorite books.
Okay, so my list is A Wizard's Guide to Defensive Baking by T. Kingfisher, because I had to include that. I literally just finished this one like 2 days ago. It's one of her middle grade novels, and it's about a young girl, Mona, who has magic, but her magic only affects dough. So
That's cute.
So she can make gingerbread dance, and she has a sentient sourdough starter that can do some crazy things. But that one is really fun. Okay, what else did I send you? I have to find the right list because you made me change books. Wait,
did you? A lot of the same ones.
Did you use Little Thieves? You also used it. Okay, so I also used Little Thieves by Margaret.
You changed it.
I did.
You changed it to the
Merciful Crow. Never mind. All right. We're going to get this right. So next was The Merciful Crow by Margaret Owen, which is, again, another Margaret Owen. We love Margaret Owen. We have a lot of the same favorite authors. Very good at plot twists. This one is one of her earlier works. I prefer Little Thieves, but The Merciful Crow has a really good world, and the world building is really interesting. And the second book is really, really good. Okay. City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty, which is a trilogy, best trilogy. I don't know if it's the best trilogy I've ever read. Best trilogy I read this year.
Where I've recommended that book series so many times. I need to read it.
Yeah, I think you would really like it. It has gin in it, which I think it's like very Arabian Nights kind of. It pulls inspiration from that. Okay, Book Lovers by Emily Henry, which is Emily Henry is one of the few romance authors that I will read whatever she writes. And Elantris by Brandon Sanderson, because gotta have a Brandon Sanderson in there.
You have to have Brandy. I hope the authors who watch this, if we ever get there, I hope you love the nicknames I've come up with for you.
All right. Here's your review. This was so boring. I think it actually fixed my sleep schedule.
None of them. So boring, it fixed it. I remember when we played a similar game a couple years ago. Someone said this about my boy Frederick Bachman, which is dumb because he's great. But I think it's Anxious People.
Anxious People? Is that your final guess?
Only because they hate on him, but I think it's just because he describes things well. I guess.
It's Vera Wong.
My COVID's coming. That's dumb. I need to stop saying that things are dumb. I respectfully, disrespectfully agree. Because that book had me cracking up laughing from page 1. So I'm trying to figure out if you're bored, maybe there's something else going on in your sphere of existence, and there's just something happening. That's it. That was an incorrect 1-star review. Because it just made me laugh. The characterization was almost on par with Clune for me, and I love his characters because the main character Vera is just so funny and also so annoying because she just has all these little quirks about her, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna solve this murder because I'm better than the police," and it's like, girl. What gives you that indication that you feel that way? And she brings together 5 different people from different walks of life because she's so funny. Okay, let's see.
All right, I'm ready for my review.
The feeling you get when one of your most anticipated books lives up to your expectations is one of the best. It's the contentment that you feel about not hating everything you read. It's the peacefulness that you feel knowing that you actually can like books. And most of all, it's the excited feeling of finally not being crushed by the overwhelming disappointment that a book turned out to be as good as you thought it was. Unfortunately, blank did not give me any of those feelings whatsoever. All caps and bold.
Okay, so they highly anticipated this book and they were crushed that it was not good.
It didn't give them any of the feelings.
Any of the feelings.
Any. Bold and capitalized. And 2 exclamation marks.
This is hard because these reviews are giving us nothing to go off of.
Yours gave me nothing.
Nothing. Interesting. I'm gonna go with I don't know, but I'm gonna go with City of Brass.
Is that your final guess?
Sure.
You are correct. What made you say that?
I said that because City of Brass is a pretty popular series. Especially I've seen it a lot on Book Talk. So I feel like that one, because I've seen it so much, might be highly anticipated by somebody. It's not new. But if they were like, oh, I've seen this talked about a lot and I was really excited to read it, and then but also
this is what
how dare you like the world building in this book. I equated the world building in this book to Brandon Sanderson, which is like you know, he's like the my brother-in-law called Brandon Sanderson the big daddy of fantasy, and I have to agree. So anyway, so if I'm equating anything to Brandon Sanderson, it means that I liked it. And I feel like her world building was so well done and immersive. And then the characters were also like, you really understood their motivations, but they have this like really intriguing dynamic. And oh man, like, why didn't you like it? You didn't tell me. You just said it didn't give you these feelings. You didn't tell me what feelings it actually evoked. So I don't know what to say to that except
It
for
didn't evoke any feelings.
it didn't evoke any feelings. That's a lie. That's false because they had that review had a lot of feeling. So
you do your but also no, that one was so good. It came out of left field because you were so calm about it, and then it was like these people need a rubric.
Okay, so next review for you.
Okay.
All right, ready?
I don't know. I don't know.
This book started off really interesting, and then little by little, it became pointless. The author could have gone deeper with blank and blank characters. So that's two names that I have scratched out for you. I was very disappointed with the last half of the book. So that gives you a little bit more to go off of.
The last half of the book.
It became pointless.
Like none of them.
The answer is no.
The answer is no. Also, I didn't do a disclaimer at the beginning. I'm recovering from COVID and I have to blow my nose. Or really, these people are just bringing me to tears and it's starting to come out. Okay, so they only mentioned blank and blank characters.
Mm-hmm.
2 characters. Not that that helps. But Anxious People has like 11 characters. So I feel like, well, but maybe they think that they could have gone deeper with some. They went deep. If someone says that I'm removing Anxious People,
okay,
and I can remove They're Along, Thornhedge is a novella. So I feel like they only give it 50 pages and then just decided the other half is pointless. I feel like that can't be. But that's also only 2 characters. It can't be my boy. It can't be TJ Klune because those are all the characters. But I guess they might have felt like they needed to bring Linus and Arthur. Like maybe they could have gone more in depth. But Margaret Owen also has the plot twist. That's also 2 characters. Well, there's more.
There's more than 2 characters in every book that you gave me. So
yeah, but for them to specifically say they could have gone deeper with those 2.
I'm not gonna, it's not really a hint. I completely disagree with the relationship they correlated there. The 2 characters that they said you could have gone deeper with, I was like, that doesn't make sense why you would pick those 2 characters to go together. So this review, I disagree with this review.
It's not main character vibes. Little Thieves. I'm gonna go with that. I don't feel great about it.
Okay. It's Thornhedge by T. Kingfisher.
Thornhedge.
Yeah. And the names I blocked out were Toadling and Fayette. And Fayette is the Sleeping Beauty princess that's asleep for most of the book. Like, why did you want more of that? Why did you want more of that relationship when I don't know if we ever even get dialogue between those 2 characters? Because it's not important that they have dialogue. That I think they do speak to each other, but
did the second half
I know.
I'm stunned. It is a little novella that there's no way for it to be pointless. It like ends the way. I remember saying that I felt like there was a little part of that book that I wish had gone differently towards the end, but it was just like 1 or 2 pages, not the whole second half. Well, on that stupid note, I need to simmer down. I think I'm getting too upset. But this is the most boring beep ever. It took me so long to read. Like, bro, I can't even tell you the plot. It was just that boring. I hated every single character. They were all so annoying, especially blank. Could not stand her. I'm so happy I'm done with this book. I wish I did not finish it. Whatever. Bye. 1 star.
Whatever. Bye. Okay, this is very interesting to me because they said it was so long. Is that what they said at the beginning?
It took me so long to read. Like, bro.
Like, bro. So City of Brass is probably the longest book that I gave you, and I already guessed that one. So I know it can't be that one. So now I'm like, okay, but what possibly all of the other books I gave you were pretty short.
It can be short and take you a long time to read. Apparently, with my
That's
book, the whole second half of a novella was pointless.
Oh, this is confusing. This is confusing me. Okay, I know it has a female character that plays a large enough role to be annoying, right? Is that what they said? She was annoying?
Well, I don't know. The 2 characters from the review you gave
Yeah.
weren't even relevant.
Oh boy. It's hard because I completely disagree about that description with every single book that I have on this list. But okay, is it The Merciful Crow by Margaret Owen?
No.
No.
No. Did you have a second one?
My follow-up answer is Elantris by Brandon Sanderson.
No.
No. Okay, now I'm out of ideas.
It's Book Lovers by
No.
Emily Henry. I just thought that you needed more people to hate on your girl Emily. Poor Emily has had a rough week.
Wow. And I just hold on. Pause for Pinto to get in her chair. I cannot believe what was the name that they didn't like?
Oh, I blocked it out.
Oh, it's okay. If you don't remember, that's fine.
I think it was Libby. Is that the main character?
It's been a hot minute since I read this book, and I've read other Emily Henry's since I read that one, so I'm blanking on the main character's name. Okay, so Nora's the main character. Libby is her sister.
Yeah, so this person really did not like Libby.
I can understand. Okay, I can understand Libby not being a well-beloved character because she makes some decisions that are a little bit like, what? Why are you doing this? And it's because she's not communicating well with her sister about what's going on. And so her sister and her are kind of like having some tension. So, and her sister Nora is the main character. So it makes sense when you're getting Nora's perspective that Libby is not always in the best light. So I can understand her being annoying, but when you learn why she's been doing the things that she's been doing and acting the way that she's been acting, man, the sister relationship in that book was so good. That's one of the reasons I liked it so much. So that
I will say this because I was looking at the 1-star reviews. I couldn't find one that didn't talk about this is a fake wannabe romance. You might as well just have Nora and Libby on the front holding hands. What's Charlie doing here? And like everyone was hating on it. It was like, why is this about sisters? And I'm like, dang guys, like
so this is when it comes to Emily Henry, I've noticed a trend in the way that people don't like her is that they go into it expecting a fluffy romance, and instead they get a romance with a lot of human emotions about other things that are very relatable in life, like having difficult relationships with your siblings, or with Happy Place, friendships changing over time as people move apart. And that is a very human relationship and like perspective on emotions. Like it's going to make you feel things. It's not just a fluffy romance of where two people are hot for each other and finally they bang. Like that's not the story with her. There's so much more depth. There's so much more depth here.
But it's the most boring thing ever.
That's nope.
Gotta do your hand. Your one hand.
No. It's not even a boring book. It's not like remove Libby from the situation. Like what? There's stuff happening all the time. I disagree.
You're so much nicer. You're so much nicer than me. I disagree.
I'm not gonna say they're dumb. I'm just gonna say I very strongly disagree. Because I don't understand how it's boring. Like, even if you don't enjoy the story, if you don't enjoy the character relationships, if it didn't get to the sex fast enough for you, that might be why you consider it boring. That I'll take it back. Maybe I understand your point. I'd still disagree with you, but if you were just going to read a book to watch people do it, then this is not for you. And I can see why it would be boring because they talk too much and they have a relationship. And how dare you? How dare you have a conversation before you sleep together? Like,
so basically, I was like, oh, you're so polite now. And it's like, the more it sits, the
more angry I get. Oh man, I'm sure we're going to hurt some people's feelings.
It's okay. I've called people dumb a couple times. I kind of don't.
So you're okay with it now, but you weren't okay with it when we were reviewing Fourth Wing, and you were like, "Oh, I don't want to hurt people's feelings."
People attacked and berated me for having opinions.
They
about
hurt your feelings.
Well, no, they were just like it was very intense. It was like, I can't imagine people getting as like it was a mob mentality when it came to Fourth Wing. This is just like, okay, we're just gonna hate on T. Kingfisher for no good reason. So
okay, are you ready for your last review?
Yeah, let's see.
Charming, hilarious, profound. 3 things this book believes that it is, and I disagree. I hated it.
What are the adjectives again?
Charming, hilarious, profound. So this book believes that it is those 3 things, and this person disagrees and hated it.
I know that they're not. I'm going to hope that you didn't choose the 1-star review for my boy. Because, okay, it's not Thornhedge. It's not Vera Wong. I didn't find Little Thieves very funny. So I would be surprised if someone said that that book was hilarious. So that means it's between 2 of my boys. It's either TJ Klune or Frederick Bachman. But I will say that I feel like Frederick Bachman's book was more profound because it gets people to think deeply about their life and decisions and how they should handle things. I don't know if I would consider it charming though. That's why I feel like you wouldn't do this to me. If I'm right, then my hand's gonna go up. But I don't know if I could say House on the Cerulean Sea was profound. Okay. I'll bite House in the Cerulean Sea. Was it Anxious People?
It's Anxious People.
Dang.
I really want to show you. I will show you the the review I had for Cerulean Sea that I did not I can't read it to you because it's just an image. So I will show you this image. I will send you a text with this.
Well, at least I was stuck between the last 2.
Yeah.
Because I think I was mostly expecting it because you know that I love that book so much that I was maybe she's coming after. Not you, but Anxious People is not. Anxious people is profound because it does get you to think a lot about what are you actually doing on this place. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what is your purpose? What are you going through? There are parts of it that are really sad. Like I remember I think I remember I recommended this book to you because you wanted something happy and you're like, what the heck? This is
Yeah,
not
you were like, this is a really funny one. It's really lighthearted. And then I read it and I was like, this is not
I think I
lighthearted.
said it was fun. And it does get fun.
There are funny moments, but it
But
is
it's a feel good. I believe I described it as fun and feel good. And
it
at the
didn't
end
make
of
me
the
feel
book,
good. It made me sad.
well, at the end, you feel so good about it.
It makes you feel a lot of emotions, and not all of them are good emotions.
I felt good about how everyone ended. Everyone
Okay.
had a great ending, in my opinion. Everyone always hates on my boy, so I'll Frederick Bachman. So they're wrong. But I can understand why someone would say that it was not hilarious. That's why I leaned more towards Cerulean Sea, because
Yeah.
I don't feel like I've ever seen it described, anxious people described as hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that's how they marketed it. So I do think it is charming. I think some of the relationships, especially Estelle, precious. Chef's kiss, precious. And it is profound, but it's not funny. So I don't know where they got that quote from. Maybe that's why they gave it a 1-star review, because they were misled or misguided. I'm going to choose to believe that.
Okay. I want you to look at the review for House in the Cerulean Sea that I just sent you.
Well, if that's what they feel like, maybe they just should.
Oh my.
Just
Oh.
kidding. This book slowly suffocated me. I had to do that thing where I read a solid 2 pages and then realized I wasn't reading anything. I then had to go back and reread those 2 pages I already suffered through. The magical laws of this world are so confusing, and maybe I just couldn't understand them because every time I tried to read the book, I fell asleep. That's not a joke. I literally woke up with my lamp on at 3 in a daze, only to realize that the book put me to sleep. However, if you suffer from insomnia, I recommend this book wholeheartedly.
This has to be, well, it doesn't have to be, but my guess is Elantris by Brandon Sanderson because the magic system. That's my final guess.
No.
No? Okay, I was quick to jump on that because you said magic system, and I was like, well, he's known for having somewhat confusing magic systems. So I was quick to go there. Is it Merciful Crow?
Yeah.
A complicated magic system.
And you have to reread the last 2 pages, even though you've suffered.
A complicated magic system.
They're so confusing.
A complicated. I'm sorry. Did we read the same book?
The magical laws of this world are so confusing, and maybe I just couldn't understand them because every time I tried to read the book, I fell asleep.
Okay, here's my guess. This person's never read fantasy before. That's my guess because this is a very straightforward magic system in this world. It's like Avatar the Last Airbender kind of magic, like you're born able to do a certain kind of magic, like air, water, fire, that kind of thing. And I don't understand how that can be complicated because it's not air, water, fire, but it's like, oh, these people can create illusions and these people can, like, these people are immune to the plague. That's what the crows, their ability is that they are immune to the plague and everybody else is not. So like, I don't understand how that is complicated. Oh, and actually one people, the Phoenix, their power is fire. Literally, it's just fire. Like, how is that complicated? How is it complicated? To be like, yeah, these people can manipulate fire, and these people can create illusions, and these people are really good at telling the truth. Like, they can tell when someone's lying, and these people can track things, and these people can survive deadly diseases.
Specifically saying that it's not complicated, but that it's confusing.
I don't understand how it's confusing either. Like, how is that confusing? Maybe it's confusing because there's too many types of magic people.
You're not mad, you're just disappointed.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed
that sigh was like
that you weren't smart enough for this book, and so you decided to give it a 1.
Anna, I think we're unhinged.
I think we are. We need to calm down. It's just okay. I feel personally, this book aside, 1-star reviews in general, I feel like a 1-star is indicative of there is something morally wrong with this book, or it is so poorly written that you cannot comprehend the English language on the page. Like, it is like they're just throwing words onto a page and it doesn't make a complete sentence, kind of thing. That is a 1 to me. A 2 is like, I really, really, really didn't enjoy this. And just like, why would you give something a 1-star when it's still a good book?
They don't have a rubric, Anna.
They don't have a rubric to guide them through. I can understand, considering boring seemed to be a theme with the books that I was suggesting here. I can understand, considering most, not any, but a lot of books boring if they're just not your vibe, right? But that doesn't mean that they deserve a 1-star. You can still have a well-written book that just didn't vibe with you, and so you were personally bored, but it wasn't deserving a 1-star. I'm sorry if I hurt anyone's feelings today, but I don't take back any of my words because there are books out there that I truly dislike with a lot of my being, and I still wouldn't rate them 1-star.
I'm not gonna apologize except for my one outburst towards the end. But I just feel like people need to be a little bit more objective.
Yeah. And that's what we're doing. After we are super not objective in this
We're being so judgy. We're like, how dare you?
After we've been super subjective about these 1-star reviews, stay tuned for our
we're like gonna lose so many points
for our review of other books where we use a guide to help us come to a fair score.
We'll link it for you.
Yeah. If you want to check out our categories, there are 5 of them, and you can get a 1 in a category and still not be a 1-star book because other things pull that average up. It's how Fourth Wing got a 3. Like that. Anyway, next week we'll be reviewing Assistant to the Villain. Stay tuned for that if you still want to watch us after this.
Like and subscribe.
Oh, yeah, like and subscribe. Okay. Bye.